Blog Talk Radio.
This is Team Gooch, and we are in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever, only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
GCW presents live 100% chance of pain. July 23rd, the American Legion Hall at 3319 Veteran Memorial Drive in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more ticket information, call 337-366-7480.
Hi, I'm Fenwick Mouse, and you're listening to... Fuck. Hi, this is Fenwick Mouse, and you're listening to WrestleDOWN, the discussion on wrestling now, dick. And I love to sell crack to my homies. So keep listening to WrestleDOWN and get down with WrestleDOWN. And by the way, I love my crack.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, just like the pimple on your butt you can't pop, Double B is back and WGS Radio is on the air. How's everybody doing on this wonderful June 15th? I wish it was July, then summer would be already over, but 2011. And we got a lot to get to on this week's WrestleDOWN, the discussion of wrestling now, including a pay-per-view for our own studly man, Ashley, to review. And Ashley, can you give us like a little bit of what we're going to look forward to in your review? I mean,
a fair mixed bag of matches, but overall, you know, if you hate TNA Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it, you should give the pay-per-views a chance, because to be honest, they're the best thing coming out of Impact Wrestling at the minute. Shows, not so much, but pay-per-views, pretty good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the chat room is now open here on blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio. You can get in on all the fun, plus you can call into 914-803-4615. That is 914-803-4615. You can also call in via Skype. It is a free call. So we got a lot to talk about this week, a lot to get to. One thing I'd like to make mention before we get on the air this week, I know I've been, everybody knows that all the shows can be heard on YouTube, and for those of you who have been following me on YouTube the past couple of days, you're wondering, why I haven't posted a couple of videos in the past, 2 days. I've been, I suffered from what's called gout, and it got really bad the past couple of nights, especially in my shoulder and my ribs. And I really wasn't able to do anything or anything like that, so that's why I didn't post any videos. So just wanted to give you guys a quick health update as to why I haven't posted anything. Actually, you were probably wondering, too, why I haven't been on the past couple of days.
It was kind of a bit odd, but perhaps it was because under protest that Zack Ryder wasn't getting pushed on Monday Night Raw, I don't know.
Yeah, but it is, it was... The gout I had in my shoulder, it was like extremely painful. Couldn't do anything with it, and I was also having some rib pains too. So I just really didn't feel like getting up and doing anything, So we got a lot to get to. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started, let's welcome the CEO of Homicide Incorporated, the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. Rev Jake, how you doing this week?
Yo, what up?
Not much, man. Not much. We got a lot to get to. We're going to take a look at, actually, I wonder if you could tell me if you had a chance to watch Superstars, if Tyson Kidd was on there, who was his latest manager?
Oh, the Queen of the Queefs, Nikki Guerrero.
Oh, no.
Which now makes me wonder, and you'll be pleased to know, clearly, that didn't work out, so he has another manager tomorrow night. But I won't say it just yet.
No, but I wonder if Ashley, if you could do me a quick favor, and WWE released their top 25 managers list.
Oh yes,
and I wonder if you could bring that up, and if you could tell us the top 25, and we wonder if we can talk about that
just now. The top 25. We'll go in reverse order. Number 25, Lanny Poffo, the genius. 24, Marlena. 23, Michael Hayes. At 22, we had Armando Alejandro Estrada. Teddy Long was 21. Oliver Humperdinck, late great, rest in peace, number 20. Stephanie McMahon was number 19. Closely followed by Harvey Wimpleman at 18. $1 Million Man at 17. Slick at 16. Slick was beaten by Vicky Guerrero.
Oh my God!
Vicky Guerrero was at number 15. Paul Ellering was number 14. Miss Elizabeth was 13. Paul Heyman 12. Sonny was 11. Sonny was ahead of Miss Elizabeth. Really? Mr. Fuji number 10. 9 was Arnold Scarlin was number 8. Paul Bearer was number 7. Number 6 was the Grand Wizard. Sensational Sherry number 5. The captain himself, Lou Albano, was number 4. And the top 3 in third, Classy Freddie Blassie. Number 2, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. And if I just say it's not fair to Flair, you'll know who number 1 is. Oh, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yes, he definitely deserves to be right up there at number 1. He's done a lot for the industry. First off, before we go any further, let's welcome Dixie Carter's number 1 rapist, stalker, fan. It's Andy. Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing fine when Skype decides to work. You haven't got the Skype logo on your Blog Talk Radio page again working.
What?
Oh, brilliant.
Andy, by the way, how's the Ghost Cat this week?
Fine. No more news yet, but I'm sure we will get there eventually.
Especially on this night of a lunar eclipse. Or
So,
certainly
yeah, so
there's a lunar eclipse over here in the UK. Or
it's already
was,
happened,
if
I
you
think.
could see through
Well,
the bloody cloud.
Yeah, I went outside at
Hey.
10 o'clock, have a look at it, and couldn't see dirt.
Although, on Google's UK page is actually like a scrolling thing where you can make the moon go into lunar eclipse on there. So if you can't, if it's too cloudy outside, just do it on Google.
And ladies and gentlemen, he hopes of one day racing with Reverend Jake Slater in Florida. It's WWE fan. WWE fan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and I'm just wondering, in the UK, is there a newspaper called UK Hello?
Yep.
Ashley? Okay.
It's not a newspaper, it's a magazine that basically...
I mean magazine.
I want my
Come on.
pictures in that magazine! Give me money! Give me money! I got my money, put the pictures in! I want more
Wait.
money! Take the pictures out!
There's a magazine called UK Hello.
Well, no, it's called Hello.
Is there one that called Goodbye?
There's one called OK as well.
Oh, alrighty then. Well, on...
Shall we call one that's just called What?
Well, anyway, we just had to actually read the top 25. According to the WWE, the top 25 managers of all time. And I'm going to start with you, Ashley. Do you agree with that list, the way they have it presented right there?
Not sure why Vicky Guerrero is ahead of Slick. Because if you look at... even Stephanie McMahon, that's loose. How many people did she manage? Her husband and, partially for a time, Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho. That was about it. I mean, even Estrada, I think, should be further up, because the way he managed with Umaga, I'd put him ahead of, definitely Vicky. Vicky's good, but, her character's just become too grating. And not grating in, like, a Bobby the Brain Heenan. Because that's kind of a respect-hatred. Like, you're supposed to call him a weasel, but... with some of the stuff that Vicky's been doing, I was like, this is, I just think it's kind of tarnishing the Guerrero legacy.
Well, Rev Jake, you just heard the entire list, the WWE's top 25 managers of all times. Do you agree with that list and the way it was presented?
Honestly, I really don't give a shit.
Really?
There's no dancing whores on that list apart from Miss Elizabeth and Sonny, possibly.
I mean, I go way back to, what the hell was his name? The Grand Wazir? Remember that guy? Way back before Freddie Blassie. I go back to the managers of Bruno Sammartino and way back when. And managers, they just lost their class anymore. You know, I mean, I remember Slick, I liked him. Bobby the Brain Heenan, yeah, he's got to be one of the best ones of all. Everybody else on that list, they suck ass. Uh-oh.
Oh, what happened? Radio's gone quiet.
Yes, it has.
Oh no.
Ashley, are you still there?
And in case we're still on the air, folks, and we don't have Boudreaux, we don't have Ashley, my name is the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. And I would like to take the time this week to apologize to being rude to Chase Matthews last week. Chase, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry you're an inbred monkey fucker. I'm sorry you have sex with your cousin.
Oh, God. Just as we get the line back, I just hear, I'm sorry, I just had sex with your cousin.
Wow.
I love that.
Oh.
Well, apologize for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Back to what we're about. Thank you, Sky from Blog Talk Radio.
Are we back?
Andy,
Yes.
yeah, we're back on the air. We're back on the air.
If we were on the air with what you just said, Rev, I love it.
I was
Actually,
I was apologizing to Chase Matthews for being rude to him last week. I was apologizing and saying, Chase, I'm sorry you're an inbred monkey fucker. Chase, I'm sorry you have sex with your cousin. Chase, I'm sorry you live in a double wide and can't go to sleep till you curl up to your mama and suck on her sugar tea. Chase?
on that note, Andy, what are your thoughts about the WWE's top 25 wrestling managers of all time, and do you agree with the way they presented it?
I don't know if that was over.
Oh, we lost Andy.
Oh,
Well,
Skype is just being wonderful tonight. Well, WWE fan, what do you think about that list? Do you agree with the way WWE presented it in their top 25?
yeah, I guess I agree. It's in some, no.
Again, Skype is just being a bitch to everybody tonight, including me and Ashley. So we really don't know.
It might be because we're running the old switchboard and the new studio at the same time. I don't know.
Thanks
Well,
again
Andy's
to Skype.
back.
Thanks again to Skype. The call got dropped, but yeah, I fully agree with the Bobby the Brain Heenan. He deserves some kind of pat on. It's a shame they don't actually give him an award. I don't know what the hell Vicky Guerrero's doing in there. I certainly don't know what Stephanie McMahon's doing in there.
She boned everybody in the company. That's why she's in there.
I was gonna do a Macho Man reference, but I don't think it's the right time. No, from what I've heard, the allegations are complete bull.
oh, you're not gonna say, "Oh, Macho Man, stop raping my underass." You know, age person, please. No, Macho Man, I'm only 15. Don't put your dick in me. You're not gonna say that?
Well, you've all heard the song, haven't you? No, I'm not even going to go there.
No, go ahead, please do. It's Wednesday night.
Triple H was being a bit of an argument with Stephanie, and apparently stood outside their bedroom window one night in the hotel and started to insult her. And she says, "Is that the best you can do?" He says, "No, I've got a song actually." So he started to sing, "I fucked you before we were married, I fucked you before we were married, I fucked you before we were married," and all the windows open, "and so did all your mates."
Hello? Hello?
Hello, I think we've gone off air. I think we've lost the host. Got a message from Ashley. Keep talking for now, Andy, and the rest.
Okay. And Chase Matthews, the only thing I'm not going to apologize for is I have not made it to Louisiana to personally kick the crap out of you, old school.
I like to kick the crap out of Skype right now.
Yeah, we've got
Because
Ashley. Ashley's gone. Billy's back.
Yeah,
So,
I'm back in control, guys. And Ashley is back here. Let's go ahead and take a look at TNA Impact. I know there's a couple of things I'd like to talk about with you guys.
Should we quickly mention the whole situation with who Tyson Kidd's getting next week? Spoiler alert for tomorrow.
Go ahead.
I love Impact.
The new manager for this week, I'm hoping, Tyson Kidd is, drumroll please, JTG.
Oh my God! No, I wish I was joking, but I'm not. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at Impact Wrestling this week. Well, actually, I know there's a lot of controversy that has developed with the release of the Samoa Joe Crimson Bar fight. I mean, you know, they say it was from another person recorded it on their cell phone, but they don't have the... But my big question is, where is the source video? I mean, who videoed it and uploaded it to YouTube? TNA is not going to divulge that information.
We need the music for Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theories, and we need it now. Yeah, that's a good question. Somehow I think the blurb that's in the description of the YouTube video should have the words before it in Koff's expression. Bullshit!
Exactly. Now, Andy, there was a great Knockouts tag match that happened. Angelina Love and Winter taking on Mickie James and Tara. And, you know, it was great. And I've always said it to this day, and I will say it every time on here. The Knockouts are more entertaining and better wrestlers and hotter to look at than the WWE Divas. Not all the WWE Divas, but you kind of get what I'm going here. But they're more talented. They have better in-ring abilities, better mic skills. So, but it was a great match, and I believe the sole purpose they used this match for, Angelina Love and Winter defeating Mickie James and Tara, was to set up the match that happened at TNA Slammiversary.
No.
Wait, what?
The whole purpose was good.
Oh, har. Anyway, what are your thoughts about the way the Knockouts are doing and the way they're being presented in TNA and Impact Wrestling, and what are your thoughts on how they can even improve the product that they're presenting right now?
I like the way that they're using the divas, because I get sick and tired of watching WWE matches or diva matches that last 3 minutes. It takes them 5 minutes to get in the ring and 3 minutes to actually wrestle. So it's nice to see that they're giving them a push. I think the only reason why they're giving them a push, yeah, they've got better wrestlers, there's no two ways about it, but because they know there's a market there, us males do want to see a bit of Totty in the ring from now and then, and that can actually wrestle. If I wanted to watch a girl walking in a ring, just parading a man chest, a man boobs, or silicone boobs, I'd go on the internet and look at YouPorn, but I really don't understand why the WWE have got divas in their show anymore, because all they are is just eye candy, just like you get on Formula One walking. They might as well just have them walking around holding numbers up for what round it is, because they don't serve any purpose at all in the WWE. And the sooner the divas realise that and go and work for Impact, the better.
Just be thankful that Vivid doesn't have a wrestling federation.
But what's shocking about that, there is a all-women's federation called Shimmer.
Yeah, but they have good women's wrestling, from what I've heard.
Well, Rev Jake, on Impact Wrestling, we got the opportunity to see Alex Shelley and James Storm team up and work together for the first time, taking on Mexican America, although they were not very successful. I personally felt that they did a pretty good job performance-wise, you know, because, like I said in my Impact Wrestling video for Slammiversary, you know, when it comes to singles wrestling or tag team wrestling, there's no two better people in this business to work together than Alex Shelley and James Storm. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I do believe that. I also believe the last time I actually talked to you on Skype, your parents were on vacation. How was their vacation, Bill?
It was all right. They had a lot of fun in Florida. Unfortunately, my dad couldn't find no bikini hot babes for me, so.
That's good, but also, the last time I talked to you, you and your little brothers were having McDonald's for dinner. How did those Big Macs work out for your gout, fat ass?
Not very well, as I was down the past couple of days with shoulder and rib pain.
Yeah,
But
eat a fucking salad, bitch.
all right, and now, to be fair, we see the Abyss character be taking into a totally new direction. You know, he's more like a philosophical monster now, and reading all these books and pretty much, probably need a philosophical dictionary just to translate what not only he's saying, but Brian Kendrick is saying at the same time. What are your thoughts about the new direction they're taking Abyss's character?
I like it, and the more that I think about it, he may need a manager. Again.
You know what? Actually, what do you think about that? Do you think Abyss might need a new manager?
Well, in that sense, it might be worth just bringing James Mitchell back. Because when Mitchell was manager with him, that was a decent thing. I don't know whether there's anybody in the company that could really be his manager.
Father James Mitchell was such a charismatic character on the microphone. He brought such a demonic quality to the Abyss gimmick, and he was so good on the microphone. If I can say there was only one person that was better than him on the microphone, it'd be CM Punk. And that's saying something, because CM Punk, when he gets on the microphone, he is golden. I mean, he cuts great promos on the microphone, but James Mitchell will go into that same category. He just took the Abyss character, became the mouthpiece for him in the years he was with them, and just again brought out that demonic quality of Abyss that we really needed to see in his gimmick. Rev Jake, would you agree with that?
You know, I actually like James Mitchell. James Mitchell was very good for Abyss. Ever since James Mitchell left, Abyss has just turned into, well, what I would say is a clown act.
Andy, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd agree. I recently watched a James Mitchell and Raven interview, and I don't think there's much chance of him coming back to TNA, because he's got a bit of a problem with Eric Bischoff, a personal issue with Eric Bischoff. So I don't think that's going to happen unless they can get rid of their personal issues. But like everyone said, I think James Mitchell, with him having that mysterious look about him, is the person to manage somebody like Abyss. And I agree with Jake. They're just making Abyss go from the big tough guy that he used to be to just the laughing stock of the company.
Well, he's pretty much not a laughing stock now with the way they got his gimmick going with the two missing teeth and him being all philosophical and whatnot. But I was wondering before we do the final run on Impact Wrestling this week, a lot of big talk has been going on about Mick Foley and everything that that's been happening with him, and a lot of the reasons why he left Impact Wrestling. A lot of them were due to creative differences. There were things that he wanted to do that Impact Wrestling and TNA did not want to do, and he just didn't want to be associated with Impact Wrestling if they were just going to take it in that direction. Mick Foley has a lot of knowledge of the wrestling business, and there's a certain person that's been kind of bugging me on YouTube about him being a backyard wrestler. But yeah, he might have been a backyard wrestler, but guess what? As soon as he made it to the big time, he got proper training. And I don't mean practicing every day in your backyard and doing it in front of a camera. He properly knew how to do what he's doing. So that goes out to you, Frank, if you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, with Mick Foley being gone from TNA, guys, there's a lot of talk about him probably going back into the WWE. And one thing I did bring up on a video I made not too long ago was the fact that, do you think it could be possible that they could be bringing in Mick Foley to be the anonymous Raw general manager in the WWE? Ashley, what do you think about that?
Well, considering they've probably done it in such a way so that anybody could be the Raw general manager, it just comes around to when they actually want to reveal it, which after what happened this week is probably never. It's interesting. What I will say is on Foley's official website, which is mickfoley.typepad.com, he did a pretty extensive blog posting, which is probably too long to read out on the show, but you know, giving his thoughts on his thoughts and experiences on TNA, and it's not all negative and it's not all positive. But it's his thoughts, and you know, rather than hear the rumors from somebody else, like the whole Ultimate Warrior Hogan feud, you might as well hear it from the man himself off his own blog, rather than hate comments thrown over from, you know, the wayside or whatever, like it is with that thing. But we'll probably get to that later, because it's intensifying this week, ahead of Warriors video coming out apparently Friday.
Rev Jake, what are your thoughts about the Mick Foley situation?
I don't know what's really going on with it. You know, it's like they brought him back for a couple of weeks, and then boom, he's gone. You know, so I don't know. I really don't.
I personally think it's there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians, and I don't mean that in a prejudiced way. I just think there's too many people who've been to the top in the business before, and they're all trying to run the company their own way, and there's a clash of personalities. They've got Hogan, they've got Flair, they've got Eric Bischoff, the guy we all love to hate, Vince Russo. They've all done a good job in the past. Yeah, they all do a bad job in the future. But there's, in my opinion, there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. And before long, something's going to have to give. And I think Mick Foley's seen the light and got out why the going's good, to be honest. Because I can't see, unless he's been asked to me by quite a few friends, how are people like TNA making their money at the moment? They don't advertise that they sell t-shirts, they don't advertise that they sell any wrestling memorabilia, they charge next to nothing, if anything, for the tickets of the ring to go to watch the match. Where's their income coming from? Yeah, we all know that Dixie Carter's father is putting the money in the business. He's only going to throw a couple of $1 million at it for a certain length of time and get no return before he says, hold on a minute, I can't afford to keep throwing money away like this. They need to do something, and they need to do something soon.
Is it my turn, Ashley?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, I don't think TNA is going to be on for much longer if the rate is going down.
Yeah. We got, I think is that Chase Matthews with us?
Yeah.
Chase, how you doing?
Oh, Chase.
I'm doing fine.
Hey, Chase, it's Reverend Jake. I wanted to apologize for being rude to you last week.
Oh, that's no problem.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. You're an inbred corn-fed, goat-blowing asshole. I'm sorry you have sex with your cousin. I'm sorry you live in a double-wide trailer and can't go to sleep till you suck up and do your mama's sugar titty. You know, I'm just sorry you're a dumbass redneck. So, you know, the only thing I'm not sorry about is I haven't come to Louisiana and slapped the crap out of you myself, you dumb bitch.
God. Rev may be the under influence of life.
I guess I am.
Anyway.
You were just talking about the whole Mick Foley TNA situation. What's your thoughts on it, Jason?
I haven't really paid attention. I mean, what's up with it?
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. What else? The other stuff that happened with TNA. Well, we had the final interview. Really, well, it was more like a in-ring promo between Angle and Jarrett, and amazingly, they pushed it to the main event of the pay-per-view, which I think is pretty surprising, because normally you'd want to push your main championship at the pay-per-view, especially on, well, I guess because it's a major pay-per-view, they'll be able to get away with it, because WrestleMania had, last year had a non-title match at the main event, so, anyway. Trying to think of what else there was. We also had more of the well, we had the beer the beer gun situation, or gun money, or whatever the hell we're calling it. With I think it was them in a match against Mexican America. That was certainly an interesting. That was certainly an interesting little match, given that at the end, purely by accident,
Get that gator away from me! Sorry about that,
is
guys.
Alex Shelley an alligator?
Oh my
Sorry
god.
about that. Had to go give me a quick Coke refill, guys. Sorry about that. But first off, Chase, hey, how you doing this week, Chase?
I'll be the first to announce I don't live in a double wide trailer no more. I've upgraded to a triple wide.
Yeah! That's the ultimate.
Damn.
That's the ultimate for us white trash rednecks, right, Chase?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Ashton, bring me up to speed. What were you guys talking about?
I was just going into I mentioned Jarrett little thing, and then I also started talking about the tag team situation with gun money or beer guns or Motor City Most Wanted, whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah, well, I think performance-wise, when you get to Slammiversary, we'll talk more about that on that one. Let's go ahead and do the final rundown for Impact Wrestling this week. We started out with the promo involving Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, Sting, and Ken Anderson. Then we had the tag team match, Angelina Love and Winter defeating Mickie James and Tara. Then we had the Samoa Joe Crimson bar fight that again surfaced on YouTube. Before we go any further, Chase, what were your thoughts about that YouTube footage that Impact Wrestling said that somebody recorded and put it up on YouTube, but yet they don't want to divulge the information on where it came from in the first place?
Oh, beats me. Penny always has me scratching my head with their shit, so I really don't know much about that.
Then we had Mexican America defeating Alex Shelley and James Storm. There was also a segment involving Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle promoting their match at TNA Slammiversary. RVD defeated Bully Ray. Then we had Abyss, Kaz, and Kendrick backstage talking about the renaming of the X Division title being the Extreme title. I don't know what else they said because, again, I don't have a philosophical dictionary to translate what they're saying. Velvet Sky defeated ODB, and they and I found rather funny that they said ODB is not part of the company, but she's not. But she really is part of the company, or else she wouldn't be on TV. So, in Impact Wrestling, we're not stupid. And the main event, it was Sting and Eric Young taking on Jeff Jarrett and Gunner. Jeff Jarrett and Gunner got the win, but that was also the time where they had the accident involving Karen. No, that was last week. I apologize. But anyway, after the match was over, then that's when we had you saw actually a demonic side to Sting with his attack on Ken Anderson backstage.
Yeah, I mean, Anderson wanted to get under his skin, and by the looks of it, by the end of Impact, he kind of had. He wanted to smear the red all over his face, and smear the red all over Anderson's face, and basically beat the crap out of him. And that's an interesting little angle. Be interesting to see what they do as well. We'll say what happened with the pay-per-view later, but from what I've seen, this Sting thing is going to be continuing into Impact in the next few weeks. The red face is starting to come back.
Oh, yes.
Minus the Wolfpack.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, match of the night for yours truly, Double B. I have to go with RVD and Bully Ray. They both have a lot of experience working the crowd. It was a great match, and I think, if there was another match, it could have been better than it, but it really wasn't. It was Mexican America and Alex Shelley and James Storm. That match would come in a close second, a very close second, but I got to go to RVD and Bully Ray for match of the night. Ashley, overall thoughts on TNA Impact Wrestling this week?
Overall thoughts, mixed bag of a show. When you do a mixed bag of shows and then you produce pretty good pay-per-views, it's kind of odd. But Yeah, more on that later, but overall I have to say match of the night, I'd have to agree. RVD versus Bully was very good.
All right, let's go to you, Chase. In your overall thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week.
I thought ODB cleavage was the best part of the night.
Wait, what?
ODB's cleavage.
I thought you were going to say ODB slapping or snatch.
I'm kidding. I agree with you, Billy. RVD, there you go. RVD and Ray. I agree with you, Billy, on the match of the night.
All right, let's go to the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. Rev Jake, your overall opinion on Impact Wrestling this week.
Even a bad Impact Wrestling show is better than a good WWE show.
He's got a point there. As we go to Andy and get his final thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week. Andy.
Mike.
Well, let's go to WWE Fan first. WWE Fan, your overall thoughts on Impact Wrestling this week?
It was a good show, and I do agree with you. RVD and Bully Ray was the match on the night.
Well, it's Bubba Ray or Bully Ray. Either way, it's fine, as we lost Andy again on Skype, but, you know, while we wait for him to come, let's go to Friday Night SmackDown. As we saw on SmackDown this week, the full heel turn of Christian. Now, a lot of people say it's a good move. A lot of people don't agree with the move, including one person named Frank, who I could really give a damn about. But Andy, are you here?
Yes, I'm back.
All right, your overall opinion on Impact Wrestling this week?
Didn't think it was too bad an Impact. Agree with what Jake said. Impact is, whether we like to say it or not, it's getting better. It's just the storylines that are lacking in Impact. The wrestling value is far better than the wrestling value in WWE at the moment. Just that the storylines are lacking.
Well, speaking of storylines, we saw the full heel turn of Christian on Friday Night SmackDown. A lot of people agree with the move. A lot of people disagree with the move. I want to get what you guys think about the full heel turn of Christian that happened on Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to start with you, Chase. What are your thoughts about that?
In my opinion, I think it's a better move to have him turn heel rather than Orton, because Orton's basically the top draw right now, and I think Christian can do better as a heel. I mean, he obviously plays great as a heel, so the storyline with they doing of him not getting the title belt, you know, I think it's working out great, and that's me. I thought it was a good move.
Ashley, would you agree with that? Well, let me ask you this, Ashley. Would you agree that Christian was a better draw as a heel rather than a face?
It certainly makes sense. Because I think they're really trying to push Randy as a new face. They're so determined for him to be like an Austin now. Whether he's bad or good, people will cheer him. But I don't think WWE want that. I think they want him to be a face at the minute, because he was spent so long being a heel. But, you know, that would be like them going now and them saying to you know, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase Sr., oh, because you're wrestling a guy who we're turning into a heel, we want you to be face. Did we ever see a face $1 Million Man? Don't think so.
No. But you know what? I have to, you know, before he was the $1 Million Man, he was, you know, just Ted DiBiase. But he was a face before they gave him that heel gimmick. It was very long ago. I think it was like early 1980. And it's a best of the WWE Intercontinental title DVD. I believe it was Pat Patterson in the very first Intercontinental title match. And Pat Patterson went the heel.
Yeah, when you're Randy Orton and you start off as the Legend Killer and then you become the Apex Predator and all that, and the Viper, doesn't that sound like heelish terms? I know Rattlesnake, but some snakes can be good. Vipers aren't normally that nice. Wow, we're doing nature talk. Wow.
Well, anyway, Rev Jake, my same question to you that it was to Ashley. Do you think Christian was a better draw as a heel than ever he was as a face?
Well, my opinion on that, even a bad SmackDown show is better than a Louisiana campground wrestling show with Chase Matthews in it.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. well, I may have to disagree with you on a few points. That's a subject we'll talk about later. But anyway, again, the question I'm asking everybody right now: do you guys feel that Christian was a better draw as a heel than as a face? And that's the question I'm asking right now to you, Andy. What do you think?
Oh well, can I go before Andy?
Yeah.
I much preferred Christian in TNA. TNA gave Christian a much better push. I mean, he was like champion there, once or twice? Yeah. I really would like to see Christian go back to TNA. Sorry to interrupt you, Andy, my friend.
The important thing is when Christian was champ, he was NWA champ.
Well,
go ahead, Andy. Apologies.
Yeah. I fully agree with Jake's comment there about TNA. My honest opinion is,
wow.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Then he wonders why he gets insulted. My honest opinion is the reason why. No. I'll change what I was going to say. Christian is as good at being a heel as Michael Cole is as a commentator. I don't know whether Chase has been watching a different person than me, but Christian isn't a heel, never has been, never will be. He's about as much a heel as Stone Cold Steve Austin is gay. Just at all. He'll never make a heel as long as he's got an hole in his ass.
Well, does anyone remember the Stone Cold D'Lo Brown commercial?
Stone Cold and D'Lo Brown?
Yeah, Stone Cold and D'Lo Brown did some phone commercial for who gets free minutes and how much does it cost. That was almost as gay as Chase Matthews and his cousin Bubba.
Oh, hey, Bubba's really nice.
Hey, Chase, you might as well go run and hide, because I ain't going to stop. well, until Billy asked me to stop. And when Billy asked me to stop, well, Billy's going to be pissed off, too. Ha-ha!
I think when we get to the second hour, leave off.
Well, anyway, another thing I want to talk. Well, WWE fan, before we get any further thoughts about the heel turn of Christian.
Okay, I guess the crowd gets more heat for Christian as a heel, not as a face.
Do you believe it was a good move for WWE to turn him heel?
Yeah.
And another thing we need to look at for Friday Night SmackDown is the second match of Jinder Mahal, and I believe he took on Trent Beretta. Now, again, Trent Beretta is a fantastic young talent. So is Jinder Mahal. Both people have a lot of talent, and when you look at it, I think WWE the first match they had with him with Yoshitatsu, they wanted to see what he can do physically. As a dominant person, what kind of moves he can perform, and I believe actually the way they used him this week was to see how well he can, how well he does defensively. How can he react to being on the other end of the moves, and how well he could come back and finish the match? What did you think about his performance this week against Trent Beretta?
I'm liking him a lot. He's impressing me a lot more than Carly is. It's weird. They're both trying to push his heels, whereas Jinder looks more of a reliable heel, and Carly kind of looks like a manager, but in the sense of a modern manager, in which they don't do crap and they're probably rubbish at wrestling.
Let's go to the Reverend Jake Slayer. Jake, what do you think about the progression of Jinder Mahal in the WWE so far?
I'm actually liking Jinder Mahal. And what I've noticed about Jinder Mahal, have you seen him standing next to the Great Khali? He does not look as small as most people look standing next to the Great Khali. I mean, if you look at him, he's a big dude, and I'm expecting good things out of him.
Let's go to Chase Matthews. Chase, what are your thoughts about the progression of Jinder Mahal in the WWE so far?
I for one, and when I mean for one, agree with Rev Jake Slayer on that one.
Wow. We got a shocking development. Chase Matthews actually agrees with Rev Jake Slayer.
Holy crap. You know what, Chase? I'm going to buy you a beer before I beat the crap out of you.
Let's go to Andy. Andy, what are your thoughts about Jinder Mahal and what he's been doing so far in the WWE?
I've not got the foggiest idea who he is because I don't watch SmackDown.
Oh.
Not got the foggiest idea who you're talking about.
Oh, sorry about that then.
By the sounds of it, he could be the next Alberto Del Rio. Except good. No, except good.
How soon can he go then?
You know what, Ashley? I'm thinking he could be the next Iron Sheik.
Oh, God.
Fuck! No.
Can somebody explain to me why the Great Khali's got a contract with the WWE apart from he's big?
Because he came second in the Indian version of Big Brother, and they're trying to push WWE over heavily in India because they realised, okay, we can't impress America and UK and Europe anymore. They're doing a tour of Russia, I believe, in January. They just went to China like 5 months ago, and they're going to go back, I think, later this year. And now they're also going for India. They've actually got WWE offices in India trying to find Indian talents.
But why? I mean,
of course, the great thing is, Jinder Mahal is American. He's just, his lineage comes from India.
Andy?
Yeah?
I'm going to shorten Ashley's explanation down to just because he's big. That's all. Just because he's big.
What I don't understand is why the WWE want to encourage the Indian people to become fans. I mean, Indians have got to be second-rate citizens as opposed to white people, because at the end of the day, why would you take a bow and arrow to a gunfight?
Well, no, actually, because they're outsourcing all the telemarketing jobs in America to India. So, you know, they got to give, like, the Indian people a reason to watch this. You know what, you know, I mean, the thing I don't understand about the whole situation is, why won't Billy eat a salad?
Oh, God. Well, anyway...
Carly came round and went, whoa!
Well, let's go to WWE Fan. WWE Fan, what are your thoughts about Jinder Mahal?
He's good in the ring. Very impressive.
He's got a good future ahead of him. He really did. The main event that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, a no disqualification match between Sheamus, a.k.a. the Jar Mayonnaise, and the World Heavyweight...
I've heard that about China.
Oh, God.
China's good in the ring, I believe.
Yeah, well, that's a different kind of ring, as we're, well, anyway.
To be honest, after that comment, there's only...
China's clit gets hard like this.
Oh, my God! Andy, do me a quick favor. Can you conference call Mick into your Skype call?
Yep, no problemo.
Fuck Mick.
All right, anyway...
He's actually turning into the Iron Sheik now.
Anyway, it was a very fantastic no disqualification match between Randy Orton and Sheamus. We actually saw weapons being involved. We actually saw that Sheamus' skin actually turns red when you beat him with a kendo stick, as we saw in that main event match. It was like, hey, I got white skin, take a kendo stick and paint on me. Anyway, really great match. The interference by Christian was well-timed, even though a little predictable, but it's still well-timed. And of course, in the end, Christian's interference cost Randy Orton the match, and Sheamus got the win. So what are you guys' overall opinion on Friday Night SmackDown, starting with you, Chase?
I didn't watch all of SmackDown. I did catch the main event, and I did enjoy the main event, so I can only judge it by that. But the main event was just for what it was.
All right, Rev Jake, what are your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown?
I'm not a big fan of SmackDown. I just watch it so I can keep up on current events. But you know, like that saying, oh, I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley. I'd rather, like, get in a fight with Randy Orton and Sheamus. I mean, if it came down to getting a straight fight, you know, with the weapons and no hold barred, I'd rather fight Andy Orton because I'd have to, like, put a 45 in Sheamus. Because, I mean, I don't like him. He's not a good talent. But, man, he looks like a big, rough son of a bitch.
All right, let's go to WWE fan. WWE fan, what are your thoughts about Friday Night SmackDown this week?
Unfortunately, I was at a wedding and I missed it. On Friday.
You missed a wrestling show? Anyway.
Oh my God, Jordan! Did two of your cousins get married again?
Oh my God! Anyway, speaking of... Oh my God! Ladies and gentlemen, he is here, the leader of Team Gooch. Oh my God! Mick37. Mick, how you doing this week? And Mick is having microphone trouble.
Oh, you know what?
Sweet cream on an ice cream sandwich! What in the blue hell are you doing?
Hold on just a second.
Mick,
there he
coming
is.
to the show via the WWE satellite.
Yes, WWE satellites are now having a budget cut. Sorry about that, everybody.
But how you doing this week, man? By the way, first question, are you using the Ghetto headset or the Alienware headset?
Alienware. I got my dad's.
Hey,
anyway,
now that Mick's here, and we have our token redneck, can we get rid of that other dumb son of a bitch?
hey, it's my show. I'm allowed to be the dumb redneck.
I didn't mean you. I meant Chase Matthews.
Oh, wow. Anyway, Mick, did you catch Friday Night SmackDown this week?
Actually, yes, I did.
What are your thoughts about it from what you saw this week?
Actually, this has been a better show than I guess it was better than TNA. I wasn't very impressed with any of the TNAs lately. Every time I watch it, either somebody's running their mouth or it's Sting and Anderson.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is break time here on WrestleDOWN, the discussion of wrestling. Now, when we come back, we're going to have Ashley's review of TNA's anniversary. Chase Matthews will probably pick up a chair and hit Rev Jake in the head with it. And a WWE fan will squeeze a banana out of his ass. You're listening to WGS Radio on Blog Talk Radio.
Warning, not all those things will happen.
This is Scott Phoenix, and you're listening to WGS Radio, Blog Talk Radio.
That I got rug burn on my penis.
After what happened to his uncle Eddie Guerrero back in November.
While at an extra preserve, beware of the granny waft.
I don't combine my liquor, or else I get a, bad case of Montezuma's revenge.
And that's why we call it Wrestling Talk with an Edge. It's The Rant, live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern on Blog Talk Radio and Go Fight Live.
This is Team Gooch, and we are in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever, only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
This year, you'll hear Artist 1 to Be on Rock and Wave 11-2-94, John Henley. Lead-in sauce.
Dexter.
The Rolling Stones.
people, I'm Bobby Brown. They say I'm the cutest boy in town.
Yours truly, Fenwick Mouse. The hits old and new are being played all throughout 2011 on Rockin' Waves 11T94. Listen online every Friday from 1 to 5. Every Saturday from 10 p.m. until the party ends. Go to blogtv.com/people/Quizmaster1 to listen in on all the hilarities.
Ashley and Fenwick the Mouse had an ass baby named Mick.
Subtitles are available. Bottom of the screen.
Hi, I'm the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking about contraception right about now. Do you want to protect your nuts and dirty little sluts? Do you want to avoid being a dick bondage? Well, then we have what you need at the WGS store. It's the WGS Condom Pack. They come in different sizes and flavors, and they are definitely like a share shot to the ball. And remember, at WGS, your cock is safe in our hands.
Warning, we don't have to come with our own ice packs.
Please avoid ODB.
This is Nick Bondage, and you're listening to WGS Radio, Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the second hour of WrestleDOWN, the discussion of wrestling now here on WGS Radio. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, and I don't know what's scarier, China's clit or ODB's clit.
What about both?
I think we should ask Nick Bondage, my favorite man whore.
Well, he's here right now. Nick Bondage, how you doing this week?
How's everybody doing?
Are you an Xbox doing a video with China and ODB?
Oh, God.
What was the question?
Okay, are you and Xbox doing a video with China and ODB?
Unlike all of them, I won't charge you to watch my video of me and ODB. I give it away freely.
One night drunk with China.
That's right.
Wonder how long that video will last on YouTube.
It's like watching a donkey show.
Yeah, you don't know who's bigger ass. Anyway. Anyway, on that note.
And now, to honor America, 5-time Grammy Award winner, Christina Aguilera.
Oh,
don't fumble the verse again.
That's good old blog talks.
Well,
you have to get used to press it about 5 hours beforehand.
Well, guys,
don't fumble the verse again.
Well, guys, I would like to formally announce that we are less than a few weeks away from Nick Bondage actually hitting me in the head with a steel chair, and we will have the video up on YouTube when we get it done. Right, Nick?
That's right, sooner than you think, Billy. Whether you want to film it, whether you want to prepare for it or not.
On the head. When Philly gets
on the
hit
head,
on the
on
head,
the ass,
we
on
make
the
sure
stomach,
that
on
when
the
it
chest,
happens,
on the back, wherever it takes place.
When he gets hit
Don't
on
make
the
it look
head,
like
we
Anderson.
make sure the video is edited so that then when after the hit, we hear this.
Oh, thanks for having confidence in me, Ashley.
Yeah, and then we'll have the slow-mo view where you actually hear Billy Boudreaux go, no.
Billy. If Nick Bondage hits you with a folding chair, you're going down faster than a nun at a porn convention.
Anyway, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the show as we get to TNA Slammiversary, and of course, the one, the only, Stanley Man Ashley with his of TNA Slammiversary.
started off Slammiversary with the TNA tag titles on the line, with Gun Money, or Beer Guns, or one half of Ring of Honor and one half of TNA or whatever, I don't know.
You mean one half?
British and,
You mean one half of Chase Matthews' Mama's Sugar Daddy?
Oh no, that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
No, they don't taste like sugar. They taste like sour milk.
Considering you're in the second hour, we better leave off for a bit. We started with that match against Good Money and British Invasion. This was a pretty good tag match. Lasted, I don't know, around 10 minutes or so, I'd say. Very nice little worked match. Very good match as well. I was surprised to see Douglas Williams and Magnus. This is the first time you've probably seen them for quite a while for the American, because normally Douglas Williams and Magnus have normally been on Explosion, of which I haven't been able to
have you got Tourette's or is it my end?
Say that again?
What? Have you got Tourette's or is it a problem with Skype at my end?
That might be Mick that's giving you a problem. Because we know Mick and his Tourette's. Right, you ass fungus.
God, motherfucking asshole, why?
Anyway.
I'm trying to be in the review here.
Okay, go ahead.
This was a very good match. The finish came with Gun Money. Well, the Gun Money getting the win. I thought it was a pretty good tag match, considering it was the only tag match on the card, and actually gives me hope that the British Invasion can be a decent tag team. Because I was under the fears that they were going to be left behind and just ignored or work as singles wrestlers, but they've brought it back and it's working to good effect, in my opinion. Next up, we had Matt Morgan versus Scott Steiner. Again, this was another one I was surprised about. This one isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Some good ring work from both guys. Ultimately, it was Matt Morgan that won out in the end. I'm surprised there was no interference.
Whoa. Somebody playing the fiddle.
Somebody jamming while Ashley's talking.
Well, might be more entertaining than the Scott Steiner Matt Morgan match. It wasn't a brilliant match, but there was some good wrestling stuff in there. Ultimately, though, it's a match that results in nothing being won or lost other than the W in the column for Morgan. So it didn't really make sense. Next up, we had your triple threat match, basically, because they call them three-way matches, but when I hear the phrase three-way, I always associate it with three-way dance. And this wasn't under three-way dances rules. This was triple threat rules. So, whatever.
Well, you know what? Every time I heard the term three-way, I think of the Chase Matthews, his cousin Gertrude, and a goat.
Wow.
Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I?
You sure did.
Inner voice.
My bad.
I'm trying to get people to listen in, Revan. Scaring him away. Well done. This was a very good. This was a very good match. Abyss taking. I was going to say Abyss takes a lot of pounding, but that sounds wrong. Basically, Abyss was the target for both guys, and there were some very good aerial spots from Kazarian and Kendrick, and very good moves, but ultimately, the Black Hole Slam, I think, came about 2 minutes in, and ultimately that did nothing, because it went on again, say, for about 10 minutes or so, and eventually it got to Kazarian and Kendrick fighting amongst each other, which was ultimately the sign of Abyss is going to win this, isn't he? So Abyss comes in, basically choke slams one of them. I think he also gave a shock treatment as a finisher. I haven't seen in a while from him. And Abyss wins, retains the title, and Sun Tzu says the X Division is capitulating. So much so that he still calls it now the Extreme title, and so much so that the next pay-per-view is all X Division related. I sense a problem. Anyway, next up is the one which is the Goldberg match, as I call it, because it's Crimson with his streak on the line against Samoa Joe. Now this wasn't a bad match, but it was very one-sided. It was so heavily a match that Samoa Joe was beating the crap out of Crimson. And then, suddenly in the last few minutes, Crimson realized, oh, I'm supposed to wrestle him. So basically, Crimson Crimson dodged the muscle buster that Samoa Joe was going for. Crimson then managed to hit a spear and somehow get a victory. So the streak's still on the line. Wasn't a brilliant match. It wasn't, Crimson really... They're pushing him way too much, because I don't think he's the caliber of Goldberg to be able to get such a big push at the minute. He still needs, I'd say, another 6 months before...
Hey, can I say
to angle
something
him
about...
towards titles.
Can I say something about Crimson?
Yeah?
He did two tours in Iraq.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
We all know about Jesse Neal. He was on the ship that went down.
Mm-hmm.
Crimson actually did 2 tours in Iraq or Afghanistan, wherever. So, we got to at least give him a little respect, for defending our country. Whether we like him
or not, I respect.
But we have to give the man, a tip of the hat and say, Crimson, keep up the good work.
I certainly respect him for that, but I just feel in a company, TNA, that's trying to, work a lot, I won't say compete with, but be in existence alongside the behemoth that is WWE. I think he still needs a few months' work before he deserves to be given that push towards some of the major titles.
Yeah, and I think you need to get laid, so shut the fuck up.
Nick Hodges has something he wants to say. Nick, what do you have to say?
I kind of agree with Ashley on that aspect of it, because here lately, within the last 5 to 6 years, we've seen guys like Bill Goldberg. We've seen guys like Wade Barrett, and almost every member of the Nexus, and then guys like Mike Knox and the names elude me right now. Snitsky and guys like that give this tremendous push right from the get-go, and then once the push gets done, and then they start kind of fizzling out, and then look what happens to them. They just get swept right underneath the rug, and then you're like, Mike who? Gene Snitzel, what's his name? What?
Snitsky.
Yeah, it's Snitsky, exactly. Snitzel,
oh, Yellow Feet.
Yeah.
Jeannie Fritz.
And it's kind of a shame, because there's a couple of these guys that I know, like Big John Heidenreich, same scenario happened with him. He got a big huge push right from the get-go, right when he came in, and guys like Crimson. I think that hurts them more than it helps them. It's good to see guys like that get a push and get the type of push, but it's like Ashley said, it's too soon, it's too early.
Amazingly, we're halfway through the card, and match 5 was your Knockouts title match with Mickie James taking on Angelina Love with Winter. Interesting little promo before this, though, with Winter telling Angelina that, take your medicine, bitch, and basically Angelina, just stops and says, you don't need that anymore, I understand. So perhaps they're teasing that Angelina Love has realised for the past couple of months Winter's been drugging her to use her as a sexual slave or something. I don't know. I guess we'll find out more in the weeks and months to come. And when I say come, I mean ejaculate on a
Is Dixie Carter around?
No, mate.
If that was the case, Andy would be there
James
too.
versus Angelina Love with Winter, and your referee is Earl Hebner. Who
Well,
saw that coming?
Ashley, my opinion is, besides Nick Bondage and the SLB and myself, the rest of you have only ejaculated in your hand or with a rubber blow-up doll.
Or a piece of rabbit fur.
Rev, you're this close to being hung
Then
up.
again, isn't ODB's like a blade or something?
Hang up on me. Hey, Ashley.
It's like ejaculating with a knife.
Hang up on me, you
I know,
Welsh
right?
bitch. I'm starting to think Ashley is Welsh or Irish. No, if he wants to hang up on me,
Rev, I'll clear it up. I'm a cunt. Yeah, you like that.
hang up on me, bitch. Go ahead, I don't care.
Match 6 was the last man standing match, which I was looking forward and I'd say was the best match of the night, and it was. Bully Ray and AJ had some damn huge spots. There was Bully Ray doing some huge chops on AJ's chest, and then AJ, rather than getting out of it, actually asked for another one. And they must have had the mic like right next to it, because you could have probably heard that like in Sydney, Australia. It was that loud. Then it was kind of like the wrestling in the ring. But then we managed to get to the outside and had a huge fight in the crowd and towards the stage. He also AJ managed to do a springboard 450 as well, but Bully Ray managed to get up. Then we actually got to the stage, and Bully Ray was kicked on the floor, and then AJ did his running forearm. He might have mistimed it a little bit, but the spot went perfect, because it still had that scale of, wow, holy shit kind of thing. Then Styles got a table, put Ray on it, and then, I guess, in honor of the Macho Man, climbed up the little scaffolding that was nearby the stage, and did a Macho Man elbow down to Bully Ray. Both men went through the table, and then, AJ was up, but, this is the problem with this match, which I don't think it hurts the match. I still say it's match of the night, but AJ was stood there for about 10 seconds when Bully had to realise, when am I going to kick him? He's standing in front of me. Do I kick? Oh, I kick him now. He gets kicked. Ray basically kicks him, and he goes through the boarding around the edge of the commentary desk platform, and then Bully Ray somehow manages to get on his feet using the guardrail for a 10, and Bully Ray wins. And it was still a damn good match, better than the other two matches. Well, we get to the other two matches now. We have Sting versus Anderson. This was a pretty good match, only Eric Bischoff, the Eric Bischoff effect kind of ruined it. And once again, the referee was Jackson James, aka Bischoff Jr. Conspiracy theory. Anderson, toward the end, Anderson did pretty well, and then missed a near pinfall. Then Sting immediately got a Scorpion Death Drop, and the ref counted 1, Bischoff counted 2, the ref said, no, don't do that. The ref counted 2, and then of course Sting broke the fall himself because he thought that was 3. Then basically after this, Anderson gave Sting a low blow in front of the referee. Anderson pinned Sting, and your new champion is Mr. Anderson. Now this was a good, but the problem here is with that swerve ending with AJ and Bully was done very well. This one, it really didn't make that much sense. I mean, the fans in the audience all chanted bullshit because they obviously didn't know that Bischoff had basically screwed up the pinfall to try and distract Sting. Is stupid because and that's the other thing that was a problem throughout the entire pay-per-view. The fans couldn't give a shit about any of the matches.
Particularly
Makes
the
me
Matt
want-
Morgan Scott Steiner match. When I watched it, they just really didn't care.
And especially the two matches after the Bully Ray AJ, it blew them out. That was basically best match, because during the Sting Anderson and the final match, which was Jarrett versus Angle, the crowd was basically recovering. Which, you know, WWE's made that mistake a few times at WrestleManias, putting the matches in the wrong place, but hopefully this is a one-off occurrence for Impact, TNA, whatever, as well. This final match between Angle and Jarrett, which is supposed to be the final feud, but, you know, mild spoiler for tomorrow, it might not be, which makes you wonder why the hell they called it the final battle. It was a very good match. Of course, it had to have the obligatory main event ref bump. You know, there was some finishing moves done early, and nobody getting the success, and it was only thanks to there was a stroke from the top rope as well from Jarrett, which we haven't seen in a while, but Angle managed to kick out of that, and then Jarrett managed to put an ankle lock on Angle. Angle managed to get out, and from that, Angle got an ankle lock as well, and Jarrett eventually tapped out, and your new #1 contender and still holder of the 1996 Olympic gold medal, Kurt Angle. So overall, I have to give this pay-per-view a 7.5. You know, the Anderson Sting ending was a bit, well, it wasn't a bit stupid. It seemed very stupid, considering, you know, it's for your world title, and they could have done it. They could have done it another way with, you know, Bischoff interfering for it actually makes sense for the crowd. Because from where the crowd were, you probably couldn't see Bischoff doing a tap, because all they probably was looking for was the sound, because they can't see anything through the crowd of 1,000 that they probably had in there. But positive things, Bully Ray AJ Styles was brilliant. The tag match was actually a very good start to the show. The X Division triple threat was very good, and the Angle Jarrett match was good. However, yeah, I'll give it 7.5, but if this Angle Jarrett turns out to be another match at a pay-per-view or two later on, then I think we'll automatically drop it down to about 6.
I think a couple of things we want to make Ashley on TNA's anniversary. One, during the AJ Styles Bully Ray match, and how blatant the cameramen were, pointing the camera on Bully Ray when he was underneath the ring, blading himself.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
two,
but the key thing is, when he did the blading job, he did it he did it so he cut himself so much that he couldn't see the cut, which is, you know, the way to blade rather than the way some of the people have bladed in previous TNA things, where basically you can see the line where it's all dripping from.
And two, yeah, and two, another thing we need to mention of is the appearance of Sting at TNA's anniversary and the new look he's going for.
Oh yeah, Mr. Anderson. And you know, at the start of the event, it was Mr. Anderson, and then right from behind him, Sting comes down in his same fight, but with red patches all over it, as if to continue on his anger. Impact Wrestling on Thursday, and he did the other Anderson, beat the crap out of him. They fought everywhere in the crowd before the bell actually even rung, and they actually got in the ring and did stuff. But that appearance looks to be, I mean, mild spoiler for next Thursday, which is 23rd. Sting basically, let's just say, is a little miffed at Eric Bischoff. A little miffed. I think he's proud of it.
Well, let's go to Andy. Andy, what were your thoughts about TNA's anniversary?
I didn't think it was too bad. Like I say, the blading incident was a bit obvious, stuck out like a sore thumb. I think that was the best match on the card. I don't understand. My personal views are I like Sting, or liked. No, I'll rephrase it. I liked Sting. I think Sting now has just come back for the money. I don't think he's got anything to offer. I don't think he does good matches anymore. I think he's taking the limelight off somebody that deserves it, not him. And he's just a money whore. He's doing a Hulk Hogan. He's getting the money while he still can. I don't even think he should be on television. My honest opinion.
Well, let's go to Rev Jake. Rev Jake, what are your thoughts about TNA's Slammiversary?
I think I'm going to go to TNA Impact around Halloween. I have a annual pass to Universal Studios. And around Halloween, I'm going to go there for about a week. And I'm going to sit in the front row with a big sign that says WGS Radio is cool and gout sucks. Eat
it does.
Eat a salad, you fat ass.
All right,
Make sure you go on the right time when they actually have an Impact taping.
Dude, they have them every week. I'm going to go. I got an annual pass.
Every other week.
I'll get in for free.
Anyway, WWE fan, did you watch TNA Slammiversary?
No, I did not.
All right, what about you, Chase? Chase
is busy chasing.
Oh, sorry.
All right, did you watch TNA Slammiversary?
Yeah, I did.
All right, what are your thoughts about it?
I thought the two best matches were Kennedy and Sting, or a.k.a. Anderson, and Jarrett and Angle, even though it's for like the 500th time they worked together. But overall, it was a pretty good show. I liked it.
All right, Mick, about you? Did you watch it?
Unfortunately, no. So Mick or Nick?
Oh, let's start with you, Nick.
No, unfortunately, I've been stuck out of town working all week, so I did not get an opportunity to see any wrestling this week at all. So I'm catching up with Ashley's review, actually, because it's very detailed and very informative.
Let's go to Sparta Mick. Might have to do that when they're both online. Sparta Mick, did you watch the pay-per-view?
Or leader of Team Gooch, Mick.
Gooch Mick, yeah. I actually don't remember if I watched the pay-per-view or not. Wow, I was out of it. I was out of it on Sunday. I don't remember.
Well, anyway, on that...
Just a little call that I want to put out to Rev, you, Billy, and Chase and Andy. I'll start with you, Billy. Do you know, how much of the pay-per-view did you see, Billy?
All of it.
Okay. Which do you think is stronger at the minute? TNA's pay-per-view or TNA's TV product?
I would have to go with the TV product because I was watching the pay-per-view one. You know, the only thing that said Slammiversary, in the pay-per-view was the Turner-trons or the TNA-trons or the T-trons. I'm sure it's pretty much turning Andy on. But you look around the arena, everything else just says Impact Wrestling. The ring skirts, the Impact Wrestling. They didn't do anything to dress up the stage, to signify the fact that it's a pay-per-view, that it was a TNA Slammiversary. So I'm not...
The only thing in that sense, because they're using this tagline, Wrestling Matters, how much wrestling do you see on the TV program? Not a heck of a lot.
So a lot more in the pay-per-view, that's for sure.
Oh, no, that's the thing. That's the wrestling matters when it comes to the pay-per-view. The product hasn't changed, in my opinion. There's the quality of matches is slightly stepped up, but you still got long, endless promos and promos to open the shows with. Andy, your thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Billy.
No, yeah, go to Andy.
Andy, thoughts?
If Andy's not talking, he's probably thinking about Dixie right now, and a Blumpkin. Sorry, I got my mic on mute. Now, as I said, when we were watching, on the night we were watching the pay-per-view, you can't tell the difference between a normal broadcast and a pay-per-view with Impact stroke TNA, the product looks exactly the same, but then again, when you're coming from the same venue, it's going to look the same, but I just think they need to revamp the studio slightly to make it look different. And if you didn't know it was a pay-per-view, it's just another Impact. One other pointer. I don't know why. They keep saying they want to do things different. I came up with a thought, which is a thought for any independent company that want to pick up on the idea. I think it would be a good idea. Having a camera under one of the corner posts, one of them small miniature cameras under a corner post, so when someone gets thrown into the post, it looks like they've been thrown into your living room. It's a thought and something that I think TNA should look into.
Vince will do that when they do 3D broadcasts.
Nick, do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
That's actually a pretty clever idea. Actually, it would bring a certain distinction to the television program. Of course, I definitely agree with Andy though, as far as the pay-per-views as opposed to the regular television show. Where's the line there? I mean, it's the same thing, same product. I mean, you can tune in to see the exact same type of matches on the television show. So what makes me want to spend the $45 or however much their pay-per-views are to see what I can see on television for free? You know,
Chase,
I want to see that dressed up product. I want to see that grand spectacle. I want to see the height of the culmination of the angle between these two guys. You know, I want to see that finish. You know, I want to see her O face, so to speak. You know.
Chase, what do you have to say about this subject? You know, what product seems to be better for TNA or stronger, as Ashley put it, the wrestling program or their?
Say that again. I'm in a bad spot, Billy.
All right, Ashley, you want to ask him again?
Yeah, I was just basically asking which is more interesting to you at the moment, because for me, I'm loving the pay-per-views more than I am with the TV product of Impact Wrestling or TNA or whatever we call it. I just wanted to get everybody else's thoughts.
Oh, okay. Well, to me, TNA shows always become average to good than too bad, but like their pay-per-views always seem to be way better. I mean, I have to agree with you on there. I mean, you know, the pay-per-views do seem to get better, but the shows itself sometimes can suck. But that's not a bad thing. But you know, I do agree with you on that.
Because I'm completely opposite on that end. I think the pay-per-views are very TV show like, you know, and there's no real distinction in my opinion.
Rebjack, what are your thoughts about
that?
it?
Again, that's just my opinion. So.
Well, I agree with Nick, but on the other hand, I'm always going to like TNA better than WWE. And any GCW Louisiana campground wrestling event with Chase Matthews in it will probably catch my attention more than a Friday night SmackDown. And that's the last bit of respect I'm going to give Chase Matthews. You know why? Because Homicide Incorporated, Nick Bondage, and I and Reverend Jake Slayer are going to rain down hell all over GCW in Louisiana.
And the White Trash Posse.
Hi, I am the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer, and Nick Bondage and myself have formed the new tag team of Homicide Incorporated. And we're going to rain down hell all over GCW in Louisiana. So you better watch out, because we're coming, and hell's coming with us.
He seems nice.
Very nice.
The reason why I put that question forward is because it is amazingly 3 months since Victory Road and the debacle that pay-per-view was.
Yeah, especially with Jeff Hardy.
In 3 months, they've turned around their product quite considerably.
Well, I think another
even
person
before then, Genesis and against.
Actually,
even
another
before
person
then,
hasn't answered that question yet is WWE fan. Don't you think we should get him a chance to hear what he has to say?
Absolutely.
Well, he didn't watch the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't have to watch the pay-per-view. You're asking question about their pay-per-views.
But I guess anyway, the pay-per-view was pretty well good. But can I ask Nick Bondage a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, who would win a fatal four-way if this match ever happened? ODB versus Mae Young versus Karma versus China.
Ooh, a fatal four-way between them four. Oh, my goodness. I guarantee you I wouldn't be in the arena because, you know, I wouldn't be that close to four X's. But, I would have to say Karma hands down.
I would have
She
said
knows how to
probably,
lay it down.
I would have probably said Mae Young because she has her hand in her corner.
I thought it would have been Mae Young because she'd have flashed her tits and the others would have just died laughing.
You know what, WWE fan?
Yeah.
In the next 2 or 3 weeks, you could ask Nick Bondage all the questions you want. You could ask me all the questions you want. Because in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to have a question and answer show with Nick Bondage and the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. What's it like behind the scenes with real wrestlers? With Nick Bondage and the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. Ask us all the questions you want. What's it like behind the scenes? What's it like in the locker room? What's it like?
Who moans louder in bed?
My only response to that fatal four-way WWE fan, in Mae Young's birth hand will be on China's back door.
Oh.
And can I just
before anybody else grows up?
Anyway,
Andy,
can I just chip in with
Andy,
the comment before
Andy.
Yeah, can I just chip in with a comment before we go to a different subject? Has anyone noticed, or not, that we haven't seen Jeff Hardy for the last couple of weeks because of this judgment thing on him? Has anyone really missed the guy?
No.
I have
Not really.
at all. I'm actually. It's a pleasantry to not see him. Actually,
They're making such a big fuss about Jeff Hardy, and have we missed him for the last 4 weeks? No.
And by the way, this is all the Jeff Hardy marks. If you don't like what we're saying,
this is Team and Fear in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever, only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
I mean, am I right or am I right?
Yes.
You're right.
If you're a Jeff Hardy fan.
One real quick question, that's all, and I'll let Andy finish what he's saying.
Yeah, if you're a Jeff Hardy fan, why don't you go and vote for or stick with his brother Matt? Far better talent.
Wait. You think Matt Hardy is a better talent than Jeff Hardy?
Take the high-flying risk maneuvers off Jeff Hardy, and what else has he got to offer, Billy? You tell me. You tell me what he's got to offer in the ring apart from... Take the top rope out of a wrestling match. What has Jeff Hardy got?
The same thing Matt has?
No. No.
You guys don't agree with that?
Nope.
No.
Take the high flying out
Jeff
of
was
Matt Hardy's routine.
always
He ain't
more
got
the
one.
aerial superstar, wasn't he?
Yeah. Take the high flying maneuvers out of Matt Hardy's, Jeff Hardy's routine. He ain't got one. He ain't got a career. He's a stuntman. In my opinion, should never have been in wrestling. He's a stuntman. He's done nothing but harm the business.
I agree. I agree with you. I mean, he has he's taken that new Generation X wrestling fans after the whole Mick Foley incident with jumping off his house onto a mattress, and has turned it into what it is today.
People like Nick.
Mick Foley fans to I'm a Jeff Hardy fan.
People like Nick, who've probably busted their arse to do wrestling in a ring, he's probably not getting the money he deserves and the push he deserves because he doesn't jump off the roof of a building onto a steel spike whilst juggling red hot coals, because that's what we as fans, because of people like Jeff Hardy, are looking for. The danger aspect. That isn't what wrestling's about. If you want to see a stunt show, go to the circus. If you want to see the high-flying act, go to the circus. Should never be in wrestling.
It's funny you say that, Andy, because when I look at guys like Jeff Hardy, this is exactly what I think of. I think of somebody who's in the circus, somebody who you're waiting to see get shot out of a cannon into a big net, 65 feet away. That's Jeff Hardy. He's a super Dave Osborne of wrestling, and that's it. That's his only claim to fame, really.
Yeah, he's the evil Knievel of the wrestling world, and at the end of the day, what do we see them sort of people for? We want to see them get seriously injured. We're not interested how far he can dive. We want to see how far he can dive, really hurt himself and go, whoa, did you see Jeff Hardy rip his arm off?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all people want to see. It's like, I like car racing like Jordan. We watch car racing because we're interested, but 9 times out of every 10, we're very offended if we don't see a car crash.
But when you watch a Ring of Honor show, you say to yourself, I want to see who the best wrestler they have there is. But when you watch a show with Jeff Hardy, you say exactly the same thing. I want to see him rip his arm off tonight.
Yeah, I want to see him jump off the roof of the building because that's all he can do. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him wrestle a proper match without doing a high-flying maneuver, ever.
Now that you guys mention that, I got to say, I do watch circus shows just so I can see Chase Matthews clean up after the elephant.
Oh,
God. Chase, are you going to take that sitting down?
I thought you could say you'd be like Steve-O on Wild Boys and let the elephant masturbate him.
No.
His jokes get as old and drags out more than the Angle Jarrett storyline.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new caller on the line here before we go any further. Like from Southern Independent Wrestling Alliance, Blake Dozer. Blake, welcome to the show.
What's up, brother?
How you doing tonight, Blake?
All right.
Well, we just got through talking about TNA's anniversary. Quick question: did you get a chance to watch it?
No.
No. Okay. Well, we're fixing to get over to Monday Night Raw here.
Real quick, I just had one real quick question to ask everybody, just real fast. I'll take it just a second before we change subjects. But do you guys think, in your opinion, TNA would benefit better from having a pay-per-view just every other month instead of every month like WWE?
Yes.
Yeah, it could, because it takes a little bit while for them to develop their angles, no pun intended, or maybe with the Kurt Angle situation, a lot of pun intended. I think what they need to start doing tomorrow is one thing is to start building up to their Destination X pay-per-view. And like I said before, they're bringing back 2 things in this pay-per-view that stood TNA out, that made TNA on the map: the 6-sided ring and the X. And I, for one, cannot wait for this pay-per-view to come around in July.
One thing I totally believe. I mean, I like TNA, but I always say, it's a theme park wrestling organization because it's in Universal Studios. It's a theme park attraction. I think TNA needs to get out of the theme park and take it out on the road and get their pay-per-views in different venues. Daytona Beach, or just get it out of the theme park,
Now, before we go to Monday Night Raw, I'm going to direct this towards Blake Dozer. Blake, you have a SIWA show. You have an SIWA show coming up in August. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, we're trying to put some stuff together, man. It's kind of hard because, as Nick Bondage knows, they got a lot of guys in Louisiana. It's not very professional. It's just something hard to do. I don't recommend anybody starting a promotion unless you're ready for a big-ass headache.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, quick question. Is Blake Dozer the same person as Christian Blake?
Nope.
No.
All right, then I won't say anything stupid. My bad. Sorry. Sorry, Blake Dozer. I just had to ask. You had the same Blake name? As long as you're not Christian Blake, I won't be an asshole.
No.
Hey, Rev Jake, believe it or not, actually, the other man on the other line, Blake Dozer, was Nick Bondage's very first bodyguard.
Hey,
wow.
As long as Nick Bondage likes Blake Dozer, I think we need to bring Blake Dozer into Homicide Incorporated.
Absolutely. We could always use a third member to Homicide Incorporated.
Hell yeah.
Now, Blake, do you want to divulge any of the names that you got coming up at your show in August?
Well, for one, we have Big Kevin Nash, Raven, well, I got a list right here. You know,
Hey,
Big...
You don't have Chase Matthews, right?
No.
Well, Chase can't wrestle anymore because he's not medically cleared. He's got a slight spinal fracture.
Oh, whoopsie fucking do! They want to cut my balls off and rearrange my colon, but I'll still get in the ring with Chase Matthews and give him an old school beatdown.
Well, at least you're not like Brock Lesnar. He lost 12 inches of his colon. Anyway, Blake, you want to tell some of the names you have?
Yeah, we have the other side of DX, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. We have Rod Price. You know, we had Nick Bondage, but like I said, we don't have professional people in Louisiana. I hate to say that.
Hey, Blake, are you talking about Hardway Ron Price?
Yeah.
Good man. Good man.
We've actually had him on the show before.
Oh, really? Rod's a character, man. And we have, Charlie Horse, Steve Carino. And a couple of Jazz is going to be there, Rodney Mack, of course. And John Cena Sr. And it's about all the names, man. And we're going to have the local, we're going to have Sassy Vegas and Joe Kane.
I know Joe Kane and I know Sassy Vegas, and for some reason I don't think Sassy Vegas likes me too much. But anyway,
Sassy Vegas don't like itself, man. Don't even worry about it.
Hey, Mr. Dozer, is your next upcoming show sponsored by Boudreaux's Butt Paste?
Oh, give me a break.
Your arm or your leg, fat ass.
Well, anyway, let's take a look at Monday Night Raw here. First off, it was 3-hour Raw, so it was already good. And I believe what made the show better, actually, is the fact that Stone Cold Steve Austin was, the guest GM on Monday Night Raw. What did you think?
What to say to that is hell yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Bondage, what do you think about Stone Cold Steve Austin and the performance he gave on Monday Night Raw?
It was a little bit refreshing, to change things up and to see things a little lightheartedness about it. I guess a Stone Cold air about it. It was good, but then again, it was kind of like trying to push a round peg in a square hole.
Now,
a square peg in a round hole. Excuse me.
All right. Now, Blake, to you, one thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, Stone Cold set up a match between R-Truth and John Morrison, but I really didn't think it was he was ready to come back. I thought it might have been a little bit too soon because of the surgery he had with his pinched nerve, and they really didn't have a match. They just showed John Morrison in the back laying down after, quote, being attacked. Do you kind of agree with that, the fact that they kind of brought John Morrison in just a little bit too soon? Maybe he just wasn't physically ready to go after recovering from his neck injury? Well,
I'll answer that question for him.
Yeah.
We're in a business where your ability to be able to suck things up makes you that much better. I think if John Morrison uses that as a crutch, to evaluate his own performance in that match, then he's wrong for doing so. You know, I mean, I understand you have injuries and you know sometimes they take their toll on you, but it's your ability to suck it up and go out there and perform the best of your abilities, and still entertain that crowd. And you know, and for John Morrison being the type of wrestler that he is and the types of maneuvers that he pulls out of his hat, maybe he did come back a little too early. But you know, that's the risk you take for pulling off those types of maneuvers. You know, it's like it's a double-edged sword. You be the most entertaining person in the world, but you know what? To be that most entertaining person in the world, that type of activity is going to take its toll on you, so you have to pay the piper.
Well, speaking of Piper, Ashley, how entertaining was Roddy Piper in the Piper's Pit segment with Australia on Monday Night Raw?
It was brilliant. It was good to see Piper back on Raw, and it was kind of good because it also reflected that Miz is obviously capable of being up there and considered as one of the top talents, because he was there line for line perfect and played off Piper absolutely brilliantly. And surprisingly as well, so did Alex Ryder. Alex Ryder's going into... Riley.
Whoa.
Who's on the mind. We'll get to the lack of woo in a minute, which, you know, is kind of annoying given the fact it was from Long Island, New York, and he is the Long Island IZ.
It wasn't long enough, though, in my opinion. It didn't last long enough.
Riley, though, is growing into a possible talent, and perhaps he should have been the winner of Season 2.
What was up with the shirt, though, underneath the referee shirt? I didn't get that.
Well, I guess Miz fought in his suit, and Piper had his wrestling fire as kill, so it's probably ready.
Well, anyway, another thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, somebody screamed out free lunch, and Big Show ran to the ring as fast as he could.
Joe ran.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Kane and Alberto Del Rio had a match. At the end of the match, Del Rio got disqualified because he wouldn't relinquish the hold, the cross arm breaker, when Kane was in the ropes, and Big Show came out, tried to beat the snot out of Alberto Del Rio, and then Ricardo Rodriguez got the snot beat out of him from the Big Show, and of course Stone Cold made the match between Big Show and Alberto Del Rio. My question to everybody, Blake, if you're there, is, you know, they're kind of pushing this angle between Del Rio and Big Show. Do you expect a good match between these two at Capital Punishment?
I hope something's at Capital Punishment. I tell you that, because wrestling, their TV, WWE TV is garbage, man. I'm stuck to WWE Classics, man. I'll be honest with you. I can't stomach to watch their product.
Well, let me ask you, especially starting with you, the Capital Punishment commercials or, quote, dreams that Jerry Lawler and Booker T were having on the shows, kind of a little outrageous, wouldn't you think?
They've actually, when I saw it, I honestly thought, okay, this is odd. But now that they've actually worked WWE stuff, it's worked out better. Because you had the one with R-Truth, was very good. And then last night, on Monday, you had, who else? Right, it was Christian was one of them.
Great Khali.
Sheamus.
Sheamus. There was another one, wasn't there?
Yeah, with Great Khali and then President Obama. And of course, President Obama.
That's the most intelligent question I've had here all day. Although I swear, in that audience bit, one of the people sitting at the front kind of looks a lot like Stephanie McMahon. Oh, and also, if you've noticed on WWE.com, R-Truth has done his top list of the world's worst Jimmys.
World's worst Jimmys?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do the final rundown here of Monday Night Raw. We start out with Stone Cold, The Miz, and a segment would turn into Kane defeating Alberto Del Rio and the return of the Big Show. Ezekiel Jackson, Daniel Bryan, and Sin Cara defeated Wade Barrett, Ted DiBiase, and Cody Rhodes. Then we
Flashback. Del Rio, Kane won by disqualification because Del Rio wasn't going to break his hold.
Yes, exactly. Then Sheamus defeated Santino. Then we had the situation with Randy Orton and Christian. Rey Mysterio defeated Christian. And then we had how funny was the segment? I want to ask you, Chase, how funny was the segment between Dolph Ziggler, Vicky Guerrero, and Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Oh, God, nobody cares what Chase thinks. Just skip over him and go to Nick Bondage, please.
Seriously, Chase, how funny was that segment? Yeah, well, Nick Bondage.
No.
Well, you
Reb's doing what he wants to do.
Bueller. It was pretty funny, and I got a little something to add about the capital punishment advertisements. They are funny. I'll give them that. You know, but it reminds me of the advertisements that they did for the WrestleMania that they did in Hollywood, where everybody had their own little like movie type skit that they were doing to help push and advertise WrestleMania in Hollywood, whatever number it was. I don't remember.
Oh, WrestleMania 21.
Yeah, WrestleMania 21. Thank you for the correction there, Billy Bridger. I'll put a feather on the chair when I hit you with it. But then there again, it's like pushing a square peg in a round hole. You know, they just keep trying to push this pay-per-view down our throats. Like it's supposed to be some grand scheme of things or some grand stage that's supposed to happen, and I see every match just kind of fizzling out. As far as the Monday Night Raw, when Big Show beat up Alberto Del Cuifo, I'll say it again, Alberto Del Cuifo, and yet I will say it again. Alberto Del Cuifo's little minion, whatever his name is, was that real looking or what? I had to rewind on my DVR like 3 or 4 times to see if he was actually beating the shit out of this guy for real.
I don't know, but I think the only time we've seen Big Show run, I think the only time we've seen Big Show run any faster is when someone screamed out free lunch at KFC. Anyway, let me get back to the wrap up here. Then we had a fantastic tag match. Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston defeated Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. Then we had the very entertaining Piper's Pit segment with The Miz and Alex Riley, which led to Roddy Piper defeating The Miz with Alex Riley as a special guest referee. Also, Roddy Piper wins $5,000 of The Miz's own money. Then we had the huge Divas tag team match, which, you know, I won on that one just by looking at it. And then we had the main event match. It was John Cena taking on CM Punk. Very good match. Halfway into it, we had R-Truth come out to provide a distraction. CM Punk gets the win, courtesy of the distraction and the go to sleep. And then the end of the night, R-Truth attacked John Cena with a water bottle and hit his version of the pay dirt, Shelton Benjamin's old finishing maneuver. And that was it, the end of Monday Night Raw. Match of the night. You're really surprised, but I'm going to have to go with the tag match. Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston taking on John Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. Very entertaining match. It was a very well-put match. Kofi Kingston was superb, so was Evan Bourne. Plus the fact we got to see the Shooting Star Press. I don't think nobody else in the business can do it better right now than Evan Bourne. And, of course, Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler, they were really on it as well. So I have to go with Evan Bourne, Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, and Dolph Ziggler as match of the night. Ashley, your overall opinion on Monday Night Raw?
Very good show. Good to see Stone Cold back and giving us the power of the voice or whatever, the voting. Good points. Tag match was very good. I'd put the as my personal match for night though, the Cena Punk match, just because of the way it worked with the twist at the end with Cena being distracted and then Punk hitting the go to sleep, and as soon as he hit that, there was the loudest cheer I'd heard all night, because they realised Cena wasn't going to get pushed over. Negative points,
The Piper's Pit match probably could have gone on for a bit longer than the minute that it did. I'm talking that could have been on a bit longer, and also, I'll talk about it now because it's all news. The lack of Riley, because apparently a backstage source has revealed the reason fucking Raw is because Vince hates the internet.
You mean the lack of Ryder, not Riley?
Oh, I keep getting him switched up. Yeah, Long Island IZ is not on at the minute, apparently, because Vince doesn't like the internet. Because apparently loads of people backstage were upset that the most chance for any kind of promo was Zack Ryder, rather than, Cena or anything.
Isn't that a contradiction, knowing that Vince's money line and his business is solely almost 50% based on the internet and getting his product out there on the internet and via the internet?
Apparently this is because Zack keeps, riling Vince up, apparently, because apparently also backstage he was told he'd have a promo and a match on Raw, and they went as far as to write a fake script and a timeline and wrestle with his promo, an on-air face turn. But then when the time came close for this to happen, he apparently was told of a change and would not be on air. It was basically apparently told during the broadcast. The whole rib was Vince's idea, and because Vince is not a fan of the bashing Zack does about, they're dropping the ball on Zack Ryder and all that. And to back this up, Ziggler tweeted after Raw, "You didn't rib the kid tonight, you ribbed the fans, Long Island and the boys in the back, and kicked him in the nuts. Hashtag Ryder or Riot." And also, interestingly, Jericho made a very negative comment about Ryder not being used. They pushed the hell out of them, yet they still have these stupid promos with Johnny Curtis, who I don't give a crap about. Oh, warning, there is another Johnny Curtis promo on this Friday SmackDown. Good Raw.
Alright, Mr. Vonage, your overall opinion on Monday Night Raw this week, please?
That was my opinion. The Piper match between the Miz was too short. I love the fact that Big Show beat the crap out of Alberto Del Cuifo's minion. I meant literally beat the shit out of him, which was awesome to see. I'd like to see a little bit more roughness like that in the WWE, and then you might actually start drawing some more hardcore wrestling fans. If you've seen more roughness with the guys, guys like Dolph Ziggler, I think would be prime for spots like that. I'd like to see more Zack Ryder, to be honest with you. And that's my weekly wrap up. Like I said, I'm out of town. I didn't get a chance to really watch a whole lot of wrestling this week, so.
All right, now, while we're still on the live stream, while we're still here on the live stream before we go into the archive, Blake Dozer, where can people go to find out more information about your upcoming show in August?
SIWA Wrestling.net. One word, SIWA Wrestling.net.
Okay, again, guys, we're going to be in the archive. Be sure you check us out and find out everybody's thoughts on Monday Night Raw as we go here and Reverend Jake Slayer and get his final thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week.
This is one of the better Raws I've seen in a while, and I actually think it's because Stone Cold was there. But I want to make a comment on R-Truth. R-Truth, K-Quick, Ron Killings, I will not take away from his in-ring abilities. The man is very athletic, and they're starting to bring him along on the mic. But my God, he just reminds me of one of those smelly, obnoxious Negroes on the bus that makes you want to get off on the next stop, and wait for the next bus. What?
No, really, I agree with Red Jake 100%. It's too forced. It's he's he's definitely not main event caliber whatsoever.
Yeah, my
Maybe
God, he got beat
Intercontinental
up.
title.
No, my God, he got beat up by a NASCAR driver in TNA. You know? I mean, he could be a great superstar. Like Nick, you know, I agree with Nick. But it's like, they're misusing him, and, you know, excuse this expression, WWE is trying to make him look like a dumb nigger. Not that I'm racist. You know, I'm not racist. You know, I hate all nationalities on an equal basis. You can be white, black, Polish.
Wow.
I hate you all. I even hate, like, Welsh people like you, Ashley. But, you know, they're misusing them. They're turning them into, like, an Eric Young, a Eugene, you know, with this little Jimmy thing. They should have turned him hardcore. You know, I mean, when he was K-Quick, he was much better, even though he got beat up by, like, a couple NASCAR people. But, like, when he first came out, I liked him. And now they're just turning him into a fucking idiot. You know, like I said, you know, I'm not being a racist, but they're turning him into that smelly, stupid Negro you don't want to sit next to on the bus. You know, they need to do something better with him, but it's too late because they just turned him into a Eugene or Eric Young.
And ladies and gentlemen, the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer comments are sponsored by...
Hi, I'm the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking about contraception right about now. Do you want to protect your nuts from dirty little sluts? Do you want to avoid being a dick bondage? Well, then we have what you need at the WGS store. It's the WGS Condom Pack. They come in different sizes and flavors, and they are definitely like a share shot to the ball. And remember, at WGS, your cock is safe in our hands.
Warning, WGS condoms do not support backdoor to China. Anyway, let's go to Andy and get his final thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week.
Yeah, I thought it was a good Raw, but then again, anything that's got Austin in on a wrestling way has got out all the time. The only thing I disagreed with, why have Austin as the acting general manager for the evening and still have the general manager coming through PT? Don't see the logic there somehow.
All right, Mr. Dozer, do you have any thoughts you would like to make about this week's Monday Night Raw? Blake.
Yeah, I'm sorry, brother. I didn't catch it all, but the parts I did catch, I don't know, man. It's like I said, I'm not a fan of WWE because they're doing stupid stuff. I don't know. Like I said the other night, I missed the Attitude Era. I missed everything about professional wrestling. What they doing is not, I don't know. I wouldn't consider professional wrestling not.
He's right. It's a very forced product now, you know, with a few exceptions. You know, just very few exceptions. Other than that, it's forced down your throat, except what we're going to show you, and we're going to call it wrestling, and you better believe it's wrestling. You know, it's really what it is.
Especially when Nick hits me in the head with a chair.
Yeah.
Too bad I can't do that on SIWA Wrestling. You know, I'd love to hit you in the head with a chair shot there at that show.
Well, anyway, let's go to WWE fan
You
again.
don't tell on
Go
that,
ahead.
Nick. Not me, bro.
Oh, anyway, let's go to WWE fan and get his final thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
Okay, Monday Night Raw was good. Match of the night is Kobe tag team match. The moment of the night belongs to Stone Cold Steve Austin and the general manager with beer. I hope he likes the beer. And secondly, I really want to slap the person who come up with the idea to put Broadway in wrestling for Monday Night Raw for 5 minutes. I really do.
Holy crap, WWE fan. finally made a derogatory comment. More power to you, my little brother.
Okay.
I love you, my friend.
Really?
See, you didn't have to push it out of him. He just did it when the product was that crap.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for final thoughts of the week, starting with the Studley match.
Final thoughts, week. It's that usual week in between pay-per-views where I'm basically going, that should be, interesting. All I would say, just as a quick side note, Randy Orton, if you're wondering about that concussion angle, it actually is real. He suffered a concussion during a match in Spain this past Saturday or Sunday, and he wasn't cleared to wrestle. And apparently it's touch and go whether he'll even be fit to wrestle for the pay-per-view. So keep an eye out for that.
Okay, let's go to the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer, and get his final thoughts of the week.
My final thought for the week, I just want to curl up on my couch with Nick Bondage and watch Titanic.
I only have one question, Rev Jake.
Yes,
you
sir.
Want to be the big spoon or the little spoon?
We can take turns, dude. Long as we're doing tequila shots, I don't care.
Hey, Blake, before we go to you, I'd like to take this time out to play you one of our favorite segments from the past here on WGS Radio, and it's currently it's still one of our favorites. So go ahead and take a listen to this.
No problem.
Wait for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for another epic phase in coal mining history.
Number 726.
Can I have your attention, please? I have just received an email from the anonymous Raw General Manager.
Excuse me. Man, Michael Cole just can't control his bowels, can he?
Neither can I.
Yeah, we had a segment for a good while here called the Epic Fail in Coal Mining History, and, I'm thinking about bringing it back and coming up with some new epic fails for you guys. So,
hey, can we have an epic fail in Reverend Jake's testicles?
I think that should be coming in the near future, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
You want an epic fail? Just watch a Chase Matthews match.
Hey, at least Andy, Nick Bondage, and I have used our testicles on women instead of blow-up dolls.
Nick, I think when you're watching Chase Matthews matches, I think this happens.
Fatality.
Anyway, Mr. Bondage, your final thoughts of the week.
Oh, gosh. I really enjoyed being here with you guys, of course, every week. Ashley's so informative and so detailed. Andy, you're the man. WWE fan. Always good to have you in the house. And my brother from another mother, Rev Jake, and Billy, TikTok. Your time is short.
I've got to be informative next week as well because there's another pay-per-view. Oh, crap.
And in a couple weeks...
And my other brother on the line, Blake Dozer, brother, I hope to see you soon.
And in 2 or 3 weeks...
A lot sooner than expected, but anyway.
And
in
in 2 or 3 weeks, we're putting together a Nick Bondage tribute show, a question and answer show with Nick Bondage. What really goes on behind the scenes?
And of course, our first question is going to be...
Sweet cream on an ice cream sandwich! What in the blue hell are you doing?
You know what? I got ice cream sandwiches, and I got some sweet cream for my coffee. I put them both in a bowl. It tastes good. I don't understand that. It's really good when you got the munchies from smoking that ice.
Anyway, Andy, your final thoughts of the week, please.
Yeah, I thought it was not too bad a week of wrestling. I'll still go with the TNA better product than WWE at the moment attitude.
You know, if I didn't have socks on, I'd be totally naked.
Oh, God. Anyway, Mr. Blake Dozer, any final thoughts you'd like to leave with for the WGS Radio listeners tonight?
I just appreciate y'all having me on the show, man. It's my first time, and I'm going to try to make a habit of it, you know.
Cool, and again, one more time, where can people find out more about the SIWA show coming in August?
SIWAWrestling.net.
And WWE fan, your final thoughts of the week, please.
And that is, the last time we saw the power of the people was when the Nexus took over and created chaos. So will we see something like that again?
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of WrestleDOWN, the discussion of wrestling now. I'm Double B, thanking everybody for joining me this week. Actually, Blake Dozer, the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer, Chase Matthews, WWE fan, Andy, Mick37, and of course, the Doctor of Chairshot-onomics, Nick Bondage. I'm Double B, Billy Boudreaux saying, worship the ground Chuck Norris walks on, or he will roundhouse kick you in the face. Good night, everybody.
Roadhouse.
Hi, I am the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer, and I am telling you that you better get your lazy, inbred, corn-fed, shithead, goat-blowing asses over to CafePress.com/WrestleGamers and buy something from our store. I don't care if you buy a t-shirt, a throw pillow, or a damn coffee mug. Hell, buy one of our overpriced video cams. Just buy something so I don't have to come to your house and kick your redneck ass. So if you order something in the next 10 minutes, and if you don't, you better lock your fucking doors. Because I am the Reverend Jake Slayer, and I will fuck your day up. And by the way, I love you all. Send money, please.
Attention, condoms not available anymore.
This is the New FM Show with Jerry Lynn, and you're listening to Wrestle Gamers Show on Blog Talk Radio.
I wonder if my dick is broken because I didn't use condoms.
Hi, I'm Fenwick Mouse, and you're listening to... Fuck. Hi, this is Fenwick Mouse, and you're listening to WrestleDOWN, the discussion on wrestling now, dick. And I love to sell crack to my homies. So keep listening to WrestleDOWN and get down with WrestleDOWN. And by the way, I love my crack.
GCW presents live 100% chance of pain. July 23rd at the American Legion Hall at 3319 Veteran Memorial Drive in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more ticket information, call 337-366-7480.
WGS Radio is presented by www.thewrestlegamershow.com, and we're also reminding everybody to check out SIWAWrestling.net. For the latest information on Southern Independent Wrestling Alliance and their upcoming show in August, check out SIWAWrestling.net.
Sun Tzu says, if you are willing to make the final blow, then you must do so quickly, or else all pain and suffering will be on your own hands.
Reverend Jake Slayer says, shut up,
really
you well.
Just bring it!